Hi, I'm Dr. Larry Malerba, and welcome back to All Things Homeopathy. In this episode, I will discuss the flu and its treatment. The first thing to understand is that there's no such thing as a flu remedy. There are many flu remedies. The correct remedy is the remedy that most closely matches the symptom pattern of the particular person with the flu. Let's look at a list of common flu symptoms. We have fever, chills, aches, fatigue, headache, cough, sore throat, diarrhea, and vomiting. Now, if someone described his or her flu to me in this generic, nondescript way, I'd have no idea what to do. It tells me nothing about the unique nature of this person's particular flu. Now, imagine that we have 4 people with the flu, and all 4 have all of the symptoms on this generic list. When I talk to the first person, however, she makes a point of telling me how exhausted she feels. In fact, she slept all night and most of the following day. The second person emphasizes how cold he is. He's bundled up in a sweatshirt, sweatpants, a hat, and is under several blankets, and he still feels cold. The third person complains about how achy she is, so much so that she doesn't want to get up from the couch because it hurts too much to move. The fourth tells me that he woke at 2 a.m. and vomited. He vomited 5 more times over the following 24 hours. Now remember, all 4 feel fatigued, but none as much as the first person. All 4 feel chilled, but none are as freezing cold as number 2. And all 4 feel achy, but none are as achy as number 3. And all 4 vomited at least once, but none as frequently as number 4. Here we see what careful case-taking can reveal. All 4 patients have the same exact list of symptoms, and yet all 4 have very different versions of the flu. The trick is to determine the symptoms that are most prominent, striking, or unique in each individual case. Choosing the correct remedy requires careful observation and attentive listening in order to ascertain the remedy that best matches the case at hand. As is the case with these examples, it often depends upon where you place the emphasis. Now let's review the indications for some of the most commonly prescribed homeopathic flu medicines. Bryonia, in my experience, is one of the most frequently indicated flu remedies. The telltale clue for bryonia is that moving around exacerbates the symptoms. Whether headache, dry cough, or body aches, all become aggravated by motion. The tendency, therefore, is to remain quiet and still. Those who need bryonia can be irritable, are generally chilly, are thirsty for cold drinks at long intervals, and may have fever spikes or chills, especially around 9 p.m. With gelsemium, the emphasis is on drowsiness, sleepiness, and fatigue. This person sleeps through the day, during the night, and is still exhausted. Additional clues include chilliness, achiness, and a notable decrease in the normal level of thirst. It's as if the person is just too tired to bother to drink. Bryonia lies in bed all day because motion aggravates his symptoms. Gelsemium lies there all day out of sheer fatigue. With arsenicum, the keynote clue is the onset of illness in the middle of the night, especially between 1 and 2 a.m. This person wakes with chills, diarrhea, or vomiting, and the symptoms can become aggravated again at the same time the next night. The preference is for frequent small sips of liquid. Arsenicum is very chilly, anxious, may fear that he or she is seriously ill, and prefers not to be left alone. Eupatorium has the keynote symptom of bone pain. While most flu sufferers complain of muscle aches, Eupatorium has bone pains, aching as if the bones are broken. The Eupatorium flu can begin in the morning with chills first, followed by fever. In spite of feeling cold, there's a desire for cold drinks. Nux vomica is very chilly and usually has some type of digestive complaint like nausea or intestinal cramping pains. Nux is so cold that just moving the hand to a cool spot on the bed can trigger a wave of chills. Unlike arsenicum, which is also quite chilly, Nux tends not to be anxious. A Rhus-Tox flu may come on after exposure to cold, damp, wet weather. Stiffness and pain cause the person to feel restless, with a tendency to toss and turn in bed. Frequent changes of position bring temporary relief from the aches, pains, and stiffness. The keynote clue for aconite is sudden onset of symptoms, usually a high fever, especially after exposure to very cold, dry, windy weather. Aconite is anxious and feels worse in a warm room and worse at night. The Baptisia flu is accompanied by a type of delirium. Reality is distorted and this person experiences odd sensations or says strange things. There can be confusion with a stupefying headache. Baptisia is sore all over and may complain that the bed is too hard or uncomfortable. In a mercurius flu, the person is alternatingly hot and cold, like the rising and falling mercury of a thermometer. There can also be sore throat, bad breath, bad taste in the mouth, and excessive salivation. Mercurius drools on the pillow at night and tends to smell sick. Finally, we think of veratrum album when there is both vomiting and diarrhea with the threat of dehydration. Veratrum is very cold but craves ice-cold things. My own clinical experience has repeatedly confirmed the safety and effectiveness of homeopathic treatment for the flu. 3 to 4 doses of the indicated remedy in a 30C potency taken over the course of a 24-hour period, whether for child or adult, should be sufficient to elicit a positive response. If the remedy is incorrect, there will be minimal effect. If the correct medicine is taken, improvement should become apparent within hours, sometimes even minutes. Initial positive signs may be obvious or more subtle. The person might sit up from the bed, ask for a drink or some food, or wish to engage in some activity. Once steady improvement is noted, there is usually no further need to repeat the medicine. If no progress is observed, a second remedy can be tried in the same manner. Please remember, if symptoms persist or continue to worsen, seek the care of a medical professional as soon as possible. Common sense should always prevail. Well, I hope this gives you a sense of how successful homeopathic treatment depends upon individualized prescribing. Thanks for watching. Please tune in again to the next All Things Homeopathy, and don't forget to subscribe to the ATH YouTube channel at the end of this episode.